Earlier this year, SteelSeries released their new competition-focused Prime lineup of peripherals, and now we're seeing the next additions in the form of the Prime Mini and the Prime Mini Wireless mice. I ended up using the Prime Wireless as my main mouse after reviewing that mouse, so needless to say, I was pretty excited to check out the Prime Mini Wireless and see if it would be my new main. So let's dive in and take a closer look at the SteelSeries Prime Mini Wireless. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Hey everyone, Jordan here with 9 to 5 Toys, and SteelSeries did send over both the Prime Mini and the Prime Mini Wireless. I've spent most of my time using the wireless, so that is what this review is going to focus on. As a pretty standard 5-button mouse, the SteelSeries Prime Mini Wireless is a competition-focused, right-handed ergonomic mouse. No RGB or any other frills here. There are 2 thumb buttons on the left side, the 2 main mouse buttons up top, and a clickable scroll wheel. The matte black shell feels solid without any creaks or any clicks or anything when handling and squeezing the body. And as its name would suggest, the biggest difference here between the Prime Mini Wireless and the Prime Wireless is the dimensions and the overall size. They even have the same list price at $130, so really it's just up to you deciding, which one would better fit your hand. The Prime Mini Wireless comes in at 120.3 millimeters long by 66.2 millimeters wide in the back and 40.7 millimeters tall. And those dimensions really aren't too far off from the bigger brother Prime Wireless. I do think it's about 5 millimeters shorter in the front here, so another difference between the two mice is going to be some of the weight savings on this smaller shell. The Prime Mini Wireless comes in at 73 grams, while the bigger Prime Wireless is going to come in at around 80 grams. So shaving 7 grams off of there, which is, moving in the right direction. It's still not as lightweight as the Logitech G Pro X Superlight, which comes in at just 63 grams. This is still perfectly reasonable and feels very easy to handle. Just like the bigger Prime mice from SteelSeries, one of the biggest features of the Prime Mini lineup is the optical magnetic switches. These switches provide a consistent click, which SteelSeries claims is good for up to 100 million clicks and should retain its sharp clicky response throughout that life. And this is definitely one thing that drew me to the bigger Prime Wireless and why I was using it for so long, and I'm so glad that that is still a feature on the Prime Mini Wireless as well. So here you can kind of hear what they sound like. It is just a very satisfying click. I will say they do sound just a little bit different between the two mice. This is the Prime Wireless, and then we have the Prime Mini Wireless. Like these two, both Mouse 1 and Mouse 2, sound very consistent, very similar. But they sound a little bit different on the Prime Mini Wireless. But both are still a very satisfying click, and I found the mouse to perform flawlessly. And so this very clicky response on the mouse is something that I really enjoy on here. And once again, the Prime Mini Wireless is using the same TrueMove Air gaming sensor as the bigger brothers. For me, it's worked perfectly well on the Razer Gigantus V2 mouse mat that I've been using. There isn't much in the way of performance customization within the SteelSeries GG app to tweak sensor performance, but again, it's worked perfectly well for me. If I had to nitpick anything on the SteelSeries Prime Mini Wireless, it would be the click on the scroll wheel. It is a very light click, which coming from the bigger Prime Wireless, it's a much heavier click, takes a little more force to actuate. And on the Prime Mini Wireless, it's much lighter, and I found myself accidentally clicking that a few times. And I am getting more used to it the more that I use this mouse, so it's not really that big of an issue, but right out of the box was definitely something that I noticed. And now one thing to note here, one of the main reasons for that might be because I use a 1-3-1 mouse grip. So that means that I have one finger on the left side of my mouse, my thumb. I have 3 fingers up top and my pinky on the right. So my middle finger is hovering directly over that scroll wheel. So just in the way that it's positioned there might be one of the reasons why I accidentally clicked that a little bit more, because it is a lighter click. So those who use a more standard mouse grip and have, their index finger on mouse 1 and their middle finger on mouse 2 without a finger directly over the scroll wheel, then that's probably not going to be a big issue for them. I've seen some comments on some of my other mouse reviews where people are like, how can you hold your mouse like that? Why do you have 3 fingers on top? And that's just what feels the most comfortable for me. If you would like to see me make a video about, why I grip the mouse like that, let me know down in the comments below and I'll try to make that happen. SteelSeries is also using 100% virgin PTFE feet on the Prime Mini Wireless. And once again, movement on my Razer Gigantus V2 mouse mat feels nice and smooth. And with the lack of any crazy RGB on this mouse, it's a very simple design. It does light up on the scroll wheel. Here you can kind of see that. There's a little bit of light, a little bit of color in there, but otherwise there, the logo doesn't even light up. There's no other RGB on here. So that's going to really help the battery life, which you can get up to 100 hours on this mouse. So that's a really impressive, really respectable battery life on this thing. I usually leave the light on the scroll wheel. You can turn that off to optimize your battery life, but even with that on, I found this thing to work for multiple days at a time for me without having to recharge it. So definitely some great battery life here. So overall, wrapping up here, I've been really enjoying the SteelSeries Prime Mini Wireless. I appreciate the smaller size and lighter weight design, but in my opinion, you can't really go wrong with either size. Of course, if $130 is too much for you for a gaming mouse, that obviously is a lot to pay. Another mouse you might want to consider if you're looking for something that's lightweight and wireless is the Model O Wireless from Glorious PC Gaming Race, and I'll put a link to that review up there. That was a previous mouse that I've been using as my main. I still think is a great option, especially at the $80 price point for that one. But I do think that going forward, the SteelSeries Prime Mini Wireless is going to be my new main mouse. I love the satisfying click. I love the battery life. It's a really simple, sturdy design, and I've just been a really big fan of using this mouse. All right, and that'll do it for our review of the SteelSeries Prime Mini Wireless. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9 to 5 Toys.